I got up this morning and I read my friend's blog. My friend Clinton Davies, he's from New Zealand. He wrestles on the New Zealand national team, and this guy is such an inspiration in so many different ways. He is. I talk about wrestling all the time, and I talk about how amazing wrestling is and the kind of transformative powers that wrestling has, and the way in which it kind of pulls people in and makes them better. It improves them in some kind of way. I remember when I first started wrestling, I was 15 years old. I was just getting in all kinds of trouble at school. You know what I mean? Just kind of going down a particular path, and just like the bad up teachers, I like to want to fight, and just got myself into a whole lot of stuff. And I didn't I didn't know how I didn't know how to do anything. I tried out for football, I tried out for swimming, I tried out for basketball, I tried out for every single thing. I ran track, cross country. I did everything in that school to try to get on one of those teams. And I got cut from every single one of them because I didn't have the athleticism that they thought I needed or that I needed for that particular sport. And so I couldn't participate in it. And so then when it is that I got myself kicked out of school and my mom got really, really mad at me, I decided that I was going to go back to school and I was going to change a whole bunch of things because I never wanted to see my mom like that again. She was so angry at me, and she asked me just what do you want to do with your life? I used to call her all the time when I lived in Jamaica and I was struggling, and told her all the different things that I was going through, and I used to cry on the phone all the time. And she looked me in the eye that day when I got suspended from school, and she says, "You used to tell me all of these struggles that you were going through, and now you are here. You have nothing to worry about but to go to school, get your education so you can make your life better. And this is what you're gonna do with it." That rang through me like echoes. It was the most amazing thing. And when she said that, it's just like I started bawling and all kind of things started happening to me. But over the days that I was suspended, I made up my mind that when I went back to school, I was going to do something different. I didn't even know what it was. I just knew that I was going to do something different. And when I was walking down the hall, I happened to bump into Mr. Graham, and he's the coach of the wrestling. And I also have him now, for geography. And then, I mean, it just took off from there. I loved everything about him. I respected everything about him. I adored everything about him. He was everything I wanted to be and then some. He was genuine, he was nice, he was good to everyone. He was just like you would watch him stand in the halls in the mornings, and you would watch all these different people come through the halls just to go touch him, just to go see him, just to go make some kind of connection with him, and then they go to their class. This man was just magic, and everybody looked up to him. Even the other teachers in the school, everybody looked up to him. He was just a phenomenal guy. I started to hang around with him a lot. And even though the first year that I wrestled, I just plain old got beat up, it didn't matter. I wrestled because I wanted to be around him. He's the father that I never had. He's the uncle, that person, that authority figure, but at the same time, someone that you feel comfortable just sitting down and holding a vibe with. Today, at this moment in my life, he is still the most important man in my life. Besides my son, and there's no competition here. They're both different people in my life. But Mr. Graham has meant, you have no idea. And so I talked to other wrestlers about their coaches. I talked to my new coach here, Wayne Smythe, about his relationship with his coach. And he talks about this, wow, they were willing to go and get us wherever it is that we were at. As long as we had a desire to be in the room, as long as we had a desire to wrestle, it's like it didn't matter. And so as wrestlers, we did some foolishness, we did some crazy things. Some of us had to be bailed from prisons by our wrestling coaches. Some of us had to be put up in our coaches' homes after we were kicked out by our parents. And for the most part, we all have the same thing that I'm talking about towards our coaches. They've done a tremendous, tremendous different thing in our lives. Wrestlers are all over the world. Wrestlers are in every sector you can imagine. We're teachers, we're coaches, we're financial advisors, we're bank managers, we're all kinds of stuff. We're doctors, we're lawyers, we're everywhere. And most of the people that are in these positions, I guarantee you that if wrestling didn't play a role in their lives, things might have been a little bit different. It's an amazing sport. And all it takes for you to do it is the desire to do something different. You have to want it. It's not something that someone can want for you. And any wrestling room anywhere in the world, if you want to go, if you want to be a part of a team, as long as you have a desire to be in that room and you're going to come and you're going to work and you're going to be a part of the process of building what it is that needs to be built in that room, you're welcome to stay. And there's no doubt, once you are in that room, you cannot help but get better. You have to get better. That's just the way it is. So I want to see wrestling here in Jamaica. I think these kids that I see all over the place, running up and down these mountains, running up and down these hills, all of these kids that I see, they have the opportunity to wrestle. I opened up this piece talking about reading my friend Clinton Davis' blog. Clinton is blind. Clinton is blind, and yet Clinton is able to raise to the highest level in his country, where he would be called to represent his country in Greco-Roman at the 2013 World Championships, which is going to be in Hungary. I'll also be entering that tournament. Incredible stuff, huh? So the way I see it is, there's no doubt that wrestling changes lives. And it changes lives by having people come into a room and realize what it is that their mistakes cause and how it is to correct them. And it's a lesson that they take in all through their lives. If you lose to someone because they do a particular move on you, you go and you study that move, you learn that move, and then you figure out how to defend yourself against that move. But at the same time, you also learn how to execute that move. And then you get to the point where you start making your decisions on point, on spot. You know what your mistakes cost. And you know when it is that you put everything that you got into it, you know the results that you get. So you don't shoot with fear or trepidation. You shoot with the knowing that you are going to get exactly what it is that you need from this particular situation. And you go and you get it. In wrestling, that's just the way it is. So I can't wait to see what happens to these youth. I can't wait to see what happens to Jamaicans when they get a hold of this thing. There's so many scholarship opportunities. There's so many opportunities all around the world that our kids can have access to. If it is that they have access to the sport. Girls can wrestle. Boys can wrestle. And if it is that they get an educational opportunity out of it, wonderful. Jamaica wrestling. Thanks, Clinton. And congratulations. I will see you in Hungary, my friend.